Alright, it's way too damn early to be talking about a movie like this, but I got it. So, I'm getting ready to meet up with Glee. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to go meet up with Glee so we can see like an actual movie and not what the fuck I watched last night. Yeah, so the Human Centipede 3, the final sequence, which I'm glad they are just doing, they're keeping at that. Just like, let's leave it at 3 movies and let's not go any further, you know? Like, yeah, that's good. Because what the fuck, man? Like, so, the first movie, I remember watching it, and I remember it was just kind of like, okay, it's a lot different what, you know, like the hype of it, all that stuff, you know, everyone's like talking about how gross it was. Like, yeah, there's some parts it was kind of gross, but like, you know, I found myself laughing more because it was just, and frustrated when like the girls, like when the one girl just like stayed behind, which I understand, like if it's your friend you want to, but at the same time I'd be like, bitch, you're still you're still attached. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I mean, not, this is before she was attached, I'm sorry. It's like, you're kind of drunky, let me run away and find some help and you'll be fine. But no, let me stay. Now we're both, like, we're so an ass to mouth to one another and a Japanese guy. Anyway, so, and then the second one came out, and that one was actually disgusting. Although it was filmed so lovely in black and white. It was like, damn, it's filmed in black and white. Shit looks kind of good, you know? And so, yeah, so it was like in black and white, and you got that fat guy, and it's like so meta because, you know, they're talking about how like he's a big fan of the movie and he watches it like all the time, and then he kidnapped like the one girl and yada yada and put her into like the Centipede. Fucking, they actually mentioned that in the third one. They actually mentioned the fucking, because they're so fucking meta with that shit. Anyway, so yeah, like, I remember watching the second one, telling people, like, yeah, what you thought was disgusting about the first one? Like, no, it's, the freaking second one is actually the one that's disgusting, because he's, like, doing all that shit. But anyway, so, the freaking third one, freaking, German doctor man plays, like, some Texan cowboy guy. He's, like, some, I almost said computer, wow. Like I said, it's early. He's a prison warden, not prison ward. Like, he's the whole ward. He's a prison warden. And his accent goes from like, I'm from Texas, like really, really like that sound. I'm from Texas, like that sound, and you're like, dude, really? To being like, all of a sudden he's German. Well, that's not German. That's Eddie Izzard doing a German accent. But all of a sudden he's like German sounding, and then obviously people keep calling him a German Nazi and all those horrible things, and then he, like, his accent slips in and out. But you got Chubby Guy, who I don't think he spoke in this second one anyway, but yeah, he's doing whatever accent and he's fine. But anyway, so this movie is so fucking convoluted. Like, so the movie starts with the end of the second one where Chubby Guy is watching, you know, where his centipede, he wanted to say centipede, like, so horrible, where his centipede is dead, you know, and it's just there, and he goes into his freaking, like, you know, parking garage job and watches yet again the first movie, and then it like pans fucking out and it's them watching, you know, it's like them watching the second one, watching the first one kind of shit, and I was like, oh my god. And in all honesty, like 8 minutes into the movie, I was already like, I want to turn this off. And they were not even mentioning really making the big human centipede. I keep wanting to fucking say it. The big thing, you know, until like later on into the movie, but it's just, it's so fucking ridiculous. Like the goddamn, so there's only one woman in the entire movie, which is the stereotypical like busty, secretary chick that he has, and oh my god, he has her like sucking his dick. Like, he's just like, yeah, it's constant, like, he sounds like, if any of you guys are like readers of like Walking Dead, he sounds like freaking Negan, or however you pronounce his name, where he was constantly talking about how erect he is. I'm thrusting right now if you can't see. You know, he's all like balls deep and all that fucking shit, you know, and all that stuff. There's one part where like she blows him and he's like, no, you swallow that. And I'm like, watching it. which was really bad because I was just like chugging some water and I'm like, you know, and oh my god, he has these really gross like candies, and the girl's like, can I just get a candy for the taste? Seriously, that's her voice. And she's like, really salty. And they're like in these like tiny weird little like, you know, this gesture, hermetically sealed little jar kind of things. And fucking balls, they're severed clitorises from Africa. Yeah, so yeah, so there's that. And he eats them. He's like, thank you, blah, 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 you know, and it's, yeah. So the whole time he's figuring all these different, like, methods of, I don't want to say different methods of torture, but he pretty much, like, has all the prisoners, like, castrated. And he even, I fucking took a picture of it. There's even one part where, yeah, there's one part where, like, he goes to actually castrate, like, physically castrates one of the guys from behind. So you can see that. He's and that's, you know, whoops, that's random screen cap. And that's generic, you know, Latino prisoner guy who's in, like, a lot of movies, especially, I've seen him in some, like, better budget ones, but especially, like, low budget shit. If you want, like, generic, like, tattooed Latino guy, that's him. And then they also have generic big black guy who's also, again, in a lot of movies. He was in The Dark Knight. He was the guy who, like, took the gesture. He's the guy who took, like, the detonator dealie and, like, just threw it out the ferry window. So we have him. He ends up being the front, the number one of the big human centipede, you know? And you're just like, okay. Poor guy. And he, yeah, the German guy ends up breaking his arm. I sound like I'm just rambling on, but this is exactly how the movie goes. So, and my shirt can never be centered. Yeah, so he does that. He, like, castrates the guy. He literally just, like, splits open his, like, orange jumpsuit. And then, like, and you see it. I was actually trying to, like, get a shot. I didn't want to pause the movie because there was no, it's like, we're going through this. I am not pausing it at any point. So he actually, like, grabs, like, the whatever balls, fake balls, like behind him and cuts them off. And then I think, no, okay. Yeah, but so anyway, he's got ball blood on his hands and he rubs it on his face! He fucking has, like, the dude's, like, castrated, you know, ball blood on, like, his hands, and he rubs it all over his fucking face. All over his face. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then he has the fucking balls cooked so he can eat them! Okay, you know, and the movie gets kind of, like, really meta when the director shows up and makes a cameo as himself, and you're like, alright, dude, you know? So the guy was like, yeah, you know, I just consulted a doctor and all that stuff, and he told me that it was possible. So here's all the notes. You know what? I had to deal with, you know, a lot of the latex and silicone of, you know, the movie process, but I'd like to see an actual one being made. And, like, you know, and German Dr. Bro is like, he's not a doctor in this movie, but, you know, referring to the first movie. He's just like, yeah, sure, why not? And Chubby Guy was like, it was my idea the whole time. Which I think it was, because there's some parts where I stopped, like, caring, so I really stopped paying attention, which is fucking horrible. But yeah. And, yeah, so they figured out, like, a new way, like, to do the centipede thingy, which is, you know, like, you only just you don't have to do the whole splitting and removing of the teeth and all that shit. You literally just literal sew ass to mouth. So when the prisoners are released, all they have is a little bit of scars, like a couple, like, stitch marks, you know, like scars, you know, on the mouth and, you know, on the anus, as they kept mentioning. So, which, if you think about it, like, because they were trying to make a point, also, every so often, like, something horrible happened, like the castration or whatever, and then they'll just show the American flag waving in, like, the, you know, the prison courtyard and shit, and it was just like thanks for that social commentary that in America we castrate people and rub their ball blood all over our face, which, you know what, I'm not surprised if someone has done that before. They were trying to say, like, you know what, like, people wouldn't want to commit crimes if they knew that coming into prison, you would have to get sewn your mouth to someone's ass, which I feel like is, it, you know, in theory, that's a good idea, because you know what, then people won't be like want to like commit crimes and all that shit, but then, you know, like, to be kind of, but for social commentary, you know, the prison system's fucked up anyway, really. Like, sometimes it's about doing the crime, sometimes it's just being the wrong color. But anyway, so, you know, just think about that, where, like, there's no, like, oh, I did some time, yeah, I went to prison, I did some time, I'm a changed man or a woman or whatever, not. Well, this is more like a men's prison, they didn't say anything about women's prison. And then, but just imagine if someone's like, dude, you got caught, oh no, I get sewn ass to mouth, like, yeah, that's, yeah, you don't want that, so good idea, but, you know, just, no. So they do that, and the governor of the State Department, whatever, is Eric Roberts, the only fucking, you know, known actor in the entire damn thing, because I think they wanted some known actor in there, because this movie is full of people you have no idea who the fuck they are, except for, like I said, those two generic prison guys who are constantly in those kind of, in, like, movies. So yeah, Eric Roberts there as the governor, and he's just like, oh, what the hell is this? He sees this, the centipede, all that stuff. He has no idea what the hell's going on, obviously. Like, he's just, like, grossed out by it. But then in the end, he's totally fine with it and all that shit. And also, I took a shot of the freaking, like, ridiculously big, like, centipede. And it's fucking hilarious. It's like, whoa! I'm confused. Oh, okay. I thought those were on top of one another. Okay. For this part, they're kind of close. I thought they were, like, over and under, like they're trying to do like some kind of weird like roller coaster thing. So there's that, and then the funny thing is just like they have the ones who are like life in prison, death row people, and their limbs get cut off, and he's like, presenting to you the human caterpillar, and they're just laying there ass to mouth, like. Oh my god, I love how, like, the movie is very orange, and then whenever they want to show, like, time-elapse footage, it's very, like, it's very obvious it's something, like, they bought. It's time-elapse, like, it's stock footage, because it's, like, one, it's, like, stretched out, I think, to be whatever ratio that they filmed out, and two, it's, like, slightly, you know, blurry, like, they zoomed in or something, you know, like, if I were to, like, suddenly zoom in, like, further on my face or in the background here, like, the quality goes down, and it's, like, it's fucking hilarious, but, anyway, yeah, so, that's pretty much the movie. It doesn't make any damn sense, and it's just, it's so fucking over the top and ridiculous, like, for this kind of series or trilogy, you want to say, like, it's already ridiculous, and for you to have, like, a movie more ridiculous than the other two, like, it says something, because it's like, the first one was just kind of gross horror, the second one was just like, okay, this kind of gross meta thing, because you're like, okay, you know what, someone might be that big of a fan that they want to do something disgusting like that, because people are weird. Then the third one was like, you know what? Let's just go freaking, like, you know, ridiculous. Let's just not make any goddamn sense, and let's fucking just, like, I don't know. And there are times where, like, the German dude's acting just, like, like, I know it's on purpose, but he's normally not that, like, crazy. It just made me think of Tommy Wiseau in the room, because he was just like, okay, like this, and there's part where he's kind of like dancing and all that weird shit, and I'm just, I don't know, I was really hoping for it to end as soon as possible, and yeah, so the movie came out around like May. I like watched it on demand last night, because I've been trying to get to it, but I've been doing like you know, the fucking Double Take series, which is, I think in total is about like 15 like movies that I'm re-reviewing and all that shit. Yeah, and then of course summer blockbusters and all that stuff. So I haven't had a chance to just kind of, I wanted to do like a regular movie review on this, but I was like, you know what? By the time I was like, I can't. I'm just gonna have to just talk about it because this is crazy. And just, man, I'm really glad this is the last one because it's really, oh man, like I don't want to say I enjoyed the second one, or nor do I really want to say that I enjoyed the series, because it's like, it's just because it's weird. I'm like I'm fine with it, and let's just, you know, keep it as is kind of shit. But oh my god, you know. Oh, and then like the part where I was saying where they mentioned like South Park, so they're like, yeah, you know, there's like that porn, and then there's like that South Park episode, the human Centipede, and I was like, okay, yeah, we know, you know, you know, all that stuff, and it's just, it isn't even on my face, it's just part of it. And the makeup tutorial, like, I just put on all this stuff that I bought at a store because I saw it was really expensive, and to buy the really expensive stuff means you're like the best. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put this on my face and tell people they're stupid for not spending $40 on stuff. This is $8 powder. But, enough of me trying to get rid of my acne on camera. So anyway, the Human Centipede 3, like, that was that. Yeah.